Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. Sonny exposes Jacinda's secret. Michael is shocked to learn the truth. Sonny ruins Jacinda and Michael's dinner date. Mob boss reacts to alibi romance. Sonny Corinthos will ruin Jacinda Bracken and Michael Corinthos' dinner date. The mob boss will react to this deepening alibi romance, so let's talk about what's coming up. The last time Michael and Jacinda tried to have a nice evening out together, Nina Reeves attempted to make trouble by bringing Wiley Corinthos around. Nina didn't expect Michael to introduce Wiley to Jacinda and double down on his relationship instead of shying away from it. Michael has fully committed to bolstering his alibi and has genuinely been enjoying Jacinda's company. On November 20th, GH spoilers say Michael will take Jacinda out on another dinner date. After Jacinda sits down with Michael at the Metro Court restaurant, they'll keep getting to know each other better and make sure they're once again seen in public together. Of course, that'll give Sonny an opportunity to see Michael with Jacinda as well. Since Jacinda is a well-known escort around town, Sonny will have major reservations about Michael's plan to make Jacinda seem like his serious girlfriend. Once Sonny pops up and derails his son's evening with Jacinda, Michael will happily introduce her to his father. Jacinda may be a bit intimidated by the mob boss, especially since Sonny won't seem too thrilled about this little date night. Sonny may take some jabs over this arrangement and ultimately speak with Michael in private. Although Michael thinks this is the best strategy to keep himself out of trouble, Sonny may not be so sure about that. Michael will likely insist that he can trust Jacinda, despite Sonny's doubts about his ability to do so. Since Michael and Jacinda have truly started connecting, he may assure Sonny that Jacinda is solid and won't betray him. Sonny is hoping that Willow Tate will be acquitted and the whole Drew Kane shooter case will just go away. Unfortunately, Michael could be setting himself up for a downfall by putting so much faith in Jacinda's word. Jacinda claims she was alone in her hotel room after she parted ways with Michael, but there's a good chance she was with a client instead. Ezra Boyle is perhaps the most likely candidate, so Michael's alibi will be ruined if it's proven that he lied about being with Jacinda the whole night. Vaughn returns, Jacinda and Sonny meet. Rocco's case. Jacinda Bracken meets Sonny Corinthos. Plus, what is going to happen with Rocco Falconeri's case? Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the ABC soap opera. Jacinda Bracken and Sonny Corinthos meet. Let's start off with Jacinda and Michael Corinthos. Despite Jacinda's prior occupation and scandal with Drew Kane, the two have a fake romance that might turn real. In Drew's shooting, the two are also each other's alibis. People have already warned Michael that this might not be the best idea. They have, however, already gone public. When Michael introduced Jacinda to Christina Corinthos Davis, it was awkward and weird. Next, Jacinda will meet Sonny. Case of Rocco Falconeri. There is also Rocco, who exposed himself at the lab to protect Danny Morgan and Charlotte Cassadine. Everyone was thinking Rocco would be facing a misdemeanor. However, at court, there was a bombshell when Justine Turner told the judge there was a lot more damage to the lab than previously thought. Now Rocco is facing trial and could go to prison. Lulu Spencer will turn to Carly Spencer. Meanwhile, Dante Falconeri loses his temper. Plus, Giovanni Gio Palmieri confesses to Brooklyn Quartermain. Britt Westbourne vs. Emma Scorpio Drake. General Hospital spoilers for the week of November 17th reveal that Britt Westbourne confronts Emma at the hospital. Britt grabs the college student by the arm as she tries to leave. The doctor declares that Emma isn't going anywhere until they get a few things straight. Early on in the week, Jen Sidwell is left fuming. That same day, Britt issues an ultimatum. Toward the end of the week, Britt gets shaken. Then on Friday, she gets grilled by Jason Morgan. Laura Collins' election results. There is also the election results. Then, the next day, Laura Collins gets a shock. What else to expect? Fans can also expect Trina Robinson to consider confessing. Jocelyn Jacks is summoned by Vaughn. Jack Brennan questions Carly. Harrison Chase has news for Alexis Davis. Alexis will also update Jason. The lawyer will also confer with Felicia Scorpio. So, this is bad news for Portia Robinson. Sonny Corinthos exposing Jacinda Bracken's secret will send shockwaves through the Corinthos family, especially when Michael learns the real truth behind the woman he has been relying on to protect his freedom, and perhaps protect his heart. For weeks, Michael has thrown himself deeper and deeper into what started as a strategic alibi arrangement and has slowly evolved into a complicated, emotionally charged connection with Jacinda, a woman whose past is clouded by whispers, hidden motives, and the kind of secrets that can knock a Corinthos off his axis. Now, as Michael and Jacinda settle into their second carefully staged, and yet surprisingly natural, dinner date, the walls of this fragile illusion are about to cave in. Their first attempt at a simple night out turned into chaos when Nina Reeves crashed the moment and tried to rattle Michael by thrusting Wiley into the picture. What Nina never anticipated was that Michael would take the opposite path and confidently introduce Jacinda to his son, signaling not only commitment to the alibi but also a willingness to let Jacinda slip into a more personal corner of his life. That bold move only strengthened Michael's resolve. He began to enjoy Jacinda's presence beyond the necessity of an alibi. So when November 20th rolls around and the two of them meet again at the Metro Court, Michael in controlled calm, Jacinda in her polished poise, it feels almost like a date between two people testing the waters of something real. They lean in close, talk quietly, and lock eyes with an ease that makes their growing connection evident to anyone watching. Unfortunately for them, one of those watchers is the last person Michael wants scrutinizing the situation, Sonny Corinthos. From the moment Sonny steps into the Metro Court restaurant and spots Michael with Jacinda, his expression tightens. Sonny has seen a lot in his life: alliances, betrayals, cover stories, romances that burn hot and fizzle fast, but he knows trouble when he sees it. Jacinda's reputation as a high-end escort is no secret in Port Charles, and Sonny instantly recognizes the danger in Michael presenting her as his serious girlfriend. To Sonny, it is a risky move that leaves too many loose ends. To Michael, it is a necessary one. Still, Sonny is Sonny, and no one derails a carefully planned evening like the mob boss himself. As he approaches the table, Jacinda's smile falters just slightly, sensing the weight of power in Sonny's presence. Michael, however, stays steady and introduces Jacinda to his father with perfect confidence, refusing to allow even an inch of doubt to show. Jacinda's professional charm doesn't falter, but it's clear she's intimidated. Sonny replies with polite words but unmistakable edge, the kind of tone that warns he has already drawn conclusions Michael won't like. After a few tense exchanges, Sonny requests a private word with his son, a request that is not really a request but an expectation. Jacinda nods, understanding the family hierarchy, and Michael reluctantly stands to join his father. Once they are alone, Sonny wastes no time. He questions Michael's judgment, warns him about trusting someone he barely knows, reminds him that an escort's job includes lying convincingly. Michael bristles, insisting that Jacinda has proven herself. He has spent real time with her, observed her sincerity, and genuinely believes she will never betray him. Sonny pushes back harder, reminding Michael that he is putting his freedom, his family, and Willow's future on the line. Willow's acquittal is the outcome Sonny desperately wants, and he fears Michael's strategy may jeopardize it. Their whispered argument is sharp, tense, and filled with both love and frustration. Michael defends Jacinda passionately, revealing just how deeply he has become entangled, emotionally, subconsciously, perhaps even dangerously. But Sonny, who has spent a lifetime reading people, can see something Michael cannot. Jacinda is hiding something. Her posture, her subtle hesitation, the fleeting nervous glances, Sonny catches them all. He doesn't accuse her outright, but his message to Michael is clear: you don't know everything. Michael ends the conversation angry, insisting Sonny is overreacting and refusing to abandon Jacinda. He believes he is in control of the situation, but Sonny walks away unsettled, convinced the truth about Jacinda is darker than Michael realizes. What Sonny doesn't yet know is that Jacinda's secret is far more damning than he suspects. While she has been presenting herself as Michael's diligent alibi and a woman eager to help, Jacinda has been hiding the fact that she was not alone in her hotel room the night Michael needs covered. She insists she simply went straight to her room after leaving Michael, that she stayed there, had no visitors, took no calls, and remained off the grid. But the truth contradicts every part of that story. Jacinda was not alone. She was with a client. And the whispers suggest that client was none other than Ezra Boyle, a dangerous and unpredictable figure whose involvement in anything spells trouble. If this connection comes to light, Jacinda's credibility, and therefore Michael's entire alibi, will collapse instantly. Jacinda knows this. She feels the danger closing in. Every time Michael expresses trust in her, a flicker of guilt crosses her face, a tiny fracture in her mask. She likes Michael more than she intended to. That genuine affection is becoming a burden she never anticipated. If the truth comes out, Michael will not only feel betrayed, he could be destroyed. This is the secret Sonny is on the verge of uncovering. As the mob boss begins doing his own digging, quietly, efficiently, with the tools only Sonny Corinthos has, he will stumble upon evidence that Jacinda was not where she said she was that night. Sonny will connect the dots faster than Jacinda ever expected. And when he confronts her, the fallout will be explosive. Michael, blindsided and heartbroken, will finally learn that the woman he defended, the woman he trusted, the woman he allowed into his life, had lied to him at the most critical moment. The alibi romance he built so carefully will crumble. Sonny's intervention will not just ruin Michael and Jacinda's dinner date, it will dismantle the entire facade Michael and Jacinda created together. And in the aftermath, Michael will realize Sonny was right all along. Trust is dangerous, love is unpredictable, and sometimes the truth hits harder than any enemy can. Following Sonny's quiet but calculated decision to look deeper into Jacinda Bracken's past, the evening at the Metro Court becomes the turning point where every carefully placed lie, every gap in Jacinda's story, and every emotionally charged moment between her and Michael begins to unravel in ways neither of them is prepared for. Jacinda tries to maintain her composure as Michael returns to the table after speaking with Sonny, but the tension clinging to him is impossible to ignore. His jaw is tight, his eyes restless, his voice lower and sharper than before. Though he insists everything is fine, the words feel rehearsed, because in truth, Sonny has slipped out under Michael's skin like a needle. Jacinda senses the shift immediately. She has spent years reading clients, companions, strangers. She can feel a change in energy before a word is spoken. For weeks, Michael has looked at her with trust, gratitude, comfort. Tonight, a crack finally appears. Not large enough to break, but enough to make her fear what may happen if Sonny continues pulling at threads she has desperately tried to keep hidden. Meanwhile, Sonny pays his bill at the bar without ever taking his eyes off Jacinda. He watches her laugh during a moment she forces herself to seem relaxed in, but Sonny sees the truth behind the performance. He notices the trembling fingertips she hides beneath the table, the fleeting panic in her eyes when Michael touches her hand and accidentally brushes the edge of the truth she's holding inside. Sonny knows when someone is lying. He has built an entire life, an empire, by seeing it first. And Jacinda Bracken, with all her polished elegance and perfectly aligned alibi, is lying about something big. This realization sends Sonny into silent action. He steps outside, pretending to take a phone call, and immediately contacts Brick, who begins digging through Jacinda's client lists, hotel visits, past corporate bookings, everything that could expose a hidden connection and everything Jacinda hopes will never see daylight. Brick isn't just good, he's the best. And when Brick is unleashed on a target, the truth always surfaces. While Sonny is operating in the shadows, Michael and Jacinda continue their evening, but the calm they're clinging to feels increasingly artificial. Michael wants to relax, to enjoy Jacinda's company as he has been doing, but Sonny's words echo louder with each passing minute. You don't know everything about her, Michael. And the things you don't know could destroy you. Michael tries to push the thought away, but the fear begins creeping in. Still, he forces himself to get through dinner, telling himself he must reassure Jacinda, must stay the course, must keep the alibi intact until Willow is safe and the investigation is closed. But Jacinda, always more perceptive than Michael gives her credit for, can feel the weight he's carrying. She begins to speak more carefully, choosing her words with surgical precision, terrified that anything she says could be the spark that ignites Sonny's suspicions into full-blown accusations. After dinner, Michael walks Jacinda to her car, and for the first time, the silence between them is suffocating rather than comfortable. Jacinda tries to lighten the moment, joking about Sonny's intimidating aura, but Michael only half smiles. He wants to trust her. He needs to trust her. His entire legal defense depends on it. But something in him begins to replay moments, small inconsistencies, subtle hesitations, times Jacinda seemed nervous when she shouldn't have been. Michael desperate tries to squash the thought before it grows, but doubt is a powerful poison, especially in the Corinthos family, where secrets are currency and lies are deadly. Jacinda leans in to hug him goodnight, and Michael hugs her back, but this time there's a stiffness in his arms, something she has never felt from him before. It chills her to her core. Jacinda drives away with a knot in her stomach, realizing that Sonny Corinthos may be the first real threat she has ever faced, not because of his power, but because of his ability to see the truth she has been hiding, that she was with a client the night Michael needed her, and that client was Ezra Boyle. Ezra Boyle is not just any client, he is the kind of man who operates in moral gray zones, who holds influence in places the public never sees, who understands how to exploit people's vulnerabilities, and who never pays for a service without also securing leverage. Their encounter wasn't romantic, it wasn't dangerous, but it was enough to ruin Michael's alibi. Jacinda begged Ezra to keep their meeting discreet, and though Ezra agreed, he is unpredictable, and the closer Sonny gets to the truth, the more Jacinda fears everything will collapse. The worst part isn't even the fallout, it's Michael. Somewhere along this twisted path of alibi and necessity, Jacinda has begun to care about him in ways she never intended. She cares about his safety, his freedom, his family, his sense of loyalty and justice. She cares about the way he looks at her with a mix of trust and hope she has never earned. And she knows with heartbreak certainty that once the truth comes out, he will never look at her that way again. Her involvement with Ezra was supposed to be quick, private, forgettable, just another transaction. But now it is the detonator sitting beneath everything she and Michael have built. As Jacinda sits alone in her apartment that night, she wrestles with a storm of guilt and fear. Should she confess? Should she tell Michael before Sonny uncovers it? Should she try to salvage what little trust she still has? Every option feels like walking barefoot across broken glass. Meanwhile, Michael returns home restless, pacing the living room, replaying Sonny's warnings and hating himself for letting doubt creep into a situation he cannot afford to question. Willow senses his tension but he brushes it off, insisting he's simply overwhelmed by the upcoming court proceedings. Willow wants to believe him, but she knows Michael. She knows when he's hiding something. She watches him long enough to realize that whatever is troubling him didn't start tonight, it started the night Jacinda entered the picture. Willow tries to remain patient, but the unease curls in her stomach, leaving her fearing that the very strategy meant to protect her may be unraveling. Back across town, Sonny receives Brick's first report, small details, tiny inconsistencies, minor red flags, but enough for Sonny to know he is right. Jacinda was not in her hotel room the entire night she claimed to be. Sonny doesn't jump to conclusions. He digs deeper. He calls in favors from people outside Port Charles, cracks into hotel security logs, checks the timestamp of room keycard swipes, verifies the names of guests booked on Jacinda's floor. And slowly, piece by piece, he sees the truth forming like a dark silhouette in the fog. Jacinda left her room twice. She returned at hours that contradict her story. And worse yet, someone, whose identity is partially masked, visited her room that night. Sonny doesn't yet know who it was. Not yet. But he will. The more he uncovers, the more furious he becomes, not because Jacinda lied, but because Michael trusted her, depended on her, and opened himself emotionally to someone who might not deserve him. Sonny has many faults, but he loves fiercely. And Michael is still his son. Sonny will not allow his son to go down for a crime because an escort with a half-truth alibi and a dangerous client decided to play both sides of the fence. The next morning, Jacinda receives a message she has been dreading. Sonny wants to see her privately. Not Michael. Sonny. Her hands tremble as she reads it, and for the first time, Jacinda realizes she is out of options. She meets Sonny in his office at Pozzolo's, her heart pounding, sweat gathering in her palms. Sonny greets her without warmth. He doesn't threaten her, not physically, but is calm, cold demeanor is more frightening than any direct threat could ever be. He tells her plainly that he knows she wasn't alone the night she claimed she was. Jacinda tries to deny it, but Sonny cuts her off, his voice steady as steel. He tells her he has the keycard data, the timestamps, even footage showing her leaving her room. Jacinda feels her world collapse. Sonny demands the name of the man she was with. Jacinda refuses at first, terrified of what Ezra will do if she exposes him, but Sonny makes it clear that protecting Michael outweighs everything. When Jacinda still won't answer, Sonny tells her that he will find out with or without her cooperation, because the truth always surfaces. Jacinda breaks. Tears spill from her eyes as she finally confesses the truth, she was with Ezra Boyle. Sonny listens in chilling silence. The name is worse than he anticipated. Sonny knows Ezra, knows the danger, the influence, the reach. He also knows Ezra will not hesitate to expose Jacinda if cornered. Jacinda pleads with Sonny to understand that she never meant to hurt Michael, that she never imagined she would be dragged into something like this, that she truly cares about him. But Sonny is unmoved. Caring isn't enough, not when Michael's freedom hangs in the balance. Sonny informs Jacinda that she will tell Michael the truth tonight, because if she doesn't, Sonny will. Jacinda leaves the meeting shattered, knowing the next conversation she has with Michael will destroy everything she has grown to cherish. And as night falls and Michael arrives at her door, unaware of the storm about to erupt, Jacinda stands trembling, preparing to confess the secret that will break his heart, shatter his trust, and redefine everything they thought they were building together.